Welcome back to the podcast. Today we are talking about hard body image days. If you've ever had one or you suspect that you've had one, then you know what? This is for you. I'm just sharing a story about when this happened to me recently and what I did with it. You are not powerless against it. There is so much that can happen. My name is Katie Allen, and this is Self Love Ignited. Let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is Self Love Ignited. My name is Katie, and on today's episode, I want to talk to you about hard body image days. I don't have any notes or anything. This is just something that is on my mind and on my heart right now, and I know that it will resonate with a lot of you. If you struggle with body image, if you sometimes look in the mirror or look at pictures of yourself and have like a ugh kind of reaction, if you cringe, if you find yourself calling yourself names, labeling yourself as, not good enough or not worthy or ugly or wrong or bad or whatever it happens to be, I feel you. I feel you. I had one of those recently. Truth be told, I have been in a bit of a slump recently, these last few weeks. And I just really wanted to come on and talk to you about it, share my experience, and share what I do when I find myself in this place, because I know that I am not alone. I think there's this idea sometimes that when you are doing this work, when you are working on your body image, on self-love and all this sort of stuff, that it's like you get to a point where you never have these days anymore. You get to a point where you're just feeling fabulous all the time and you're always feeling confident. And that is absolutely not true. It's just not true. We are all human beings having a human experience, and that means that some days are great and some days are a little bit harder, and that's okay. And so, first off, if I can just sort of normalize that for you a little bit, normalize good body image days or easy body image days versus challenging ones. I want to take the expectation away that they should just all be good, because that's just not how it works, right? But what is true in my experience is that when you are actively engaged in this work and you have a level of awareness about it, and I would say that if you are listening to this, there's a good chance that you are thinking about it, right? You have some sort of level of awareness around your body image, your conversation with yourself, your inner critic, all that sort of stuff. When you have a level of awareness, it's empowering because it means that you can do something with it. When you don't have awareness, you're just sort of stuck in this cycle of like beating yourself up and hating on yourself and being critical. And it feels it's easy to feel like a victim, like things are happening to you and like you are powerless against it. And if you're here, you know that that's not true, because you're listening to this and this is doing something. You listening to my words right now is doing something. So first off, I just want to take away that expectation that it's just always going to be good and easy. But when you're doing this work, it gets to be easier. And that's because we are breaking the cycle sooner. We are seeing it, we are identifying it, and we are breaking it. So from a personal level, these last couple of weeks, I've been in a really tough place. Last month, I had to go on antibiotics. I had an infection. And if you have ever been on antibiotics, which I would say that most, if not all of us have at some point in our lives, our bodies all react differently to them. And I know for myself, a few years ago, I had a whole other health crisis and I was on some really, really strong antibiotics. And ever since then, anytime I'm on them, it completely throws my gut out of whack. When my gut's out of whack, that means that I get tired really easy. I'm really bloated. I just feel sort of like my whole body just gets like, it feels like heavy, like slumpy, like nothing's working right. Sometimes my skin doesn't look the nicest. I get bad breath when I'm on antibiotics. Like it just changes everything, right? And like if you know anything about antibiotics and how it works, it makes perfect sense. It's killing lots of bad bacteria. It also kills the good stuff. So we need to replace the good stuff, da 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 da. There's a whole thing behind that. But That's where my body image challenges began this time, because I started on antibiotics, which was great. They did exactly what they needed to do. But then I started having all of these flow-on effects in my body. Started feeling really tired, really bloated, lethargic. All these things that used to be really easy for me weren't. Started having a lot more knee pain. I have a situation with my knee that I've had for many years. Started having a lot more knee pain. There was a lot of inflammation happening in my body. My gut was just very unhappy. And that's where this all stemmed from. Now, this last weekend, I did an incredible photo shoot with my friend Marina. I'm going to link to her work in the show notes. Marina has been around. She was a guest on my summit that I did a couple of years ago, and all of her photography really centers around body positivity. Now, this last weekend, she had a photo shoot called Every Body is a Beach Body. And she's been doing this for a while now. This was the first one that I have had the pleasure of taking part in. And essentially, it is gathering a group of women together on the beach in your swimwear, and you take photos. You take group photos, you take individual shots, and it's all in the name of promoting body positivity, right? Every body is a beach body. Now, I've known that this is coming for months. I've really been looking forward to it. Well, when the day came, I was not having a good body image day. I just wasn't. I was not feeling great. And I've been planning on wearing this two-piece bikini that I have. And truth be told, I put it on in the morning and I looked in the mirror and I just went, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm feeling myself. I don't know if I'm confident enough to stand in front of a group of people, stand in front of a camera wearing this. And my inner critic started going, and I started getting the, you're disgusting, you're fat, what's wrong with you? Ugh, nobody wants to look at you, right? All of these things, all of this like chit chat that used to be normal for me, and it doesn't rise up very often anymore. But let me tell you, that day, standing in front of the mirror in that bikini, it was loud. It was loud. And if you have ever experienced something similar, if you've ever put an item of clothing on or a swimsuit on, or maybe stood at a change room at a store and looked at yourself and had these voices come up, then you know what I'm talking about, right? But the question is, what do you do with it? Because you could believe it. You could go, well, it's true. I am disgusting and I am worthless and I should just give up now and screw it. It's done. I'm not going to go and do this thing, whatever this thing is, right? I'm not going to go on this trip, or I'm not going to do this photo shoot, or I'm not going to do this thing. I can't be seen. Enough. Not doing it. You could do that. You could believe the voices, but there's another choice. Right? I mean, there's lots of choices you can make, but I can tell you that the choice that I made in that moment, I heard it, I noticed it, and I stopped. And I put my hand on my heart. One hand on my heart, one hand on my belly. If you've heard me speak before, you know that my belly is the one part of my body that I have the most challenging relationship with, shall we say. And I stood there and I closed my eyes and I took a couple of deep breaths and I just asked myself, what do you need right now? What do you need right now? What do I need right now? And my body said, compassion, understanding, kindness. And I said, I can do that. And I said, what else do you need? My body said, to not wear this bikini, to be covered. It doesn't feel safe to be seen this way. It doesn't feel safe to wear this two-piece bikini. I need to be covered. And I said, okay, we can do that. We can do that. So I changed and I put on this adorable, cute little one-piece swimsuit and I went to the photo shoot and it was awesome and I loved it. And if you are following me over on Instagram, I have posted some photos there. There will be more coming when the official event photos are released. So, you know, if you want to check it out, if you want to check out Marina's work, please do. So I changed into this one piece and I went along. And I continued to feel a little bit of discomfort and I noticed it and I was okay with it. Because part of this journey level of acceptance, accepting the hard days, not always trying to change it. We have this thing in this culture of when we are uncomfortable, we're like, oh, I just have to change it. I just have to change this thing. I have to make this go away. I have to change this uncomfortable feeling. Sometimes sitting with the discomfort is the process. So I went to this photo shoot and I wore a one piece and I was slightly uncomfortable. And I chose to be compassionate with myself. I chose to be kind. I heard that voice. I recognized that voice. But I didn't let it take over. It didn't run the show. It got to have its say, right? I feel fat, feel disgusting, feel unworthy, feel blah 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 blah. I listened, but it did not then dictate what I did going forward. I didn't hide. I didn't run away. I didn't continue to beat myself up. And then from that place, that's where healing happens, right? That is where healing happens. And for me, it's an ongoing journey. This was only a few days ago, right? This is a very recent thing. It was only a few days ago. So, from that place, now I'm at this place of like, how can I continue to give myself compassion? How can I give my body what it needs to, heal my gut from this antibiotic? How can I give my body what it needs physically to feel good again? But also, how can I keep giving myself what I need to be really good emotionally and mentally? And asking that question and just being gentle the whole time, being gentle and understanding that some days are going to be good, some days are going to be hard, and that's okay. It is a journey. It is a process. So I really just want to leave you with that today. I felt compelled to come on and share this story, share what I've been through. Because you know what? If you have had a hard body image day, you know what it feels like. You know what it feels like. But I want you to know that it's not forever. Oh, you might hear Archie in the background. There's a bird out front that he's not so happy with. It can feel like you're just getting sucked into this dark hole, but it doesn't have to be forever. And you have the power to choose to be kind. You have the power to choose to be compassionate. Even when it feels hard, this doesn't mean it's impossible, right? Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. It's okay if you have a hard day. It will get better. It will get better. Okay. If you're not following me on Instagram already, I just want to invite you to do so. Jump on over, check out the photos from the photo shoot that I talked about, and please give Marina a follow as well. She is phenomenal. I absolutely love her work. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I hope that this episode has been helpful for you, has been healing for you. Here is to you, loving all that you are. I'll see you next time.